Leclerc calls Canadian GP super frustrating, despite recovering from back row to P5. On paper, Charles Leclerc did a fine rescue job on his Canadian Grand Prix weekend, bringing his Ferrari F175 from 19th on the grid up to P5. But the Monegasque felt that more might have been possible, as he described his Sunday in Montreal as super frustrating. Following his retirement in Baku, Ferrari opted to kit Leclerc out with a raft of new power unit elements, demoting him to a back row start alongside the similarly penalty-hit Yuki Tsunoda. But despite Ferrari trimming Leclerc's wing to aid straight-line speed and overtaking, his movement up the order wasn't as rapid as he would have liked, the Monegasque driver getting stuck in a DRS train at one point before spending laps 21 to 40 trying and failing to pass Esteban Ocon's Alpine. A slow pit stop, which dropped him behind a squabbling pack of midfielders he'd already passed once, compounded Leclerc's frustrations, although his strong pace in the final stint meant he was at least able to climb to P5, to claim 10 points. "It was a super frustrating race," said Leclerc. "The last part was nice, but obviously the very first part one was stuck in a DRS train and I couldn't do anything. Then in the middle part of the race, I found myself stuck behind Esteban, who had much newer tires, so out of turn 10, when the tires are actually making the difference, he had very good traction and that was enough for him to keep me behind all the time." Leclerc added, meanwhile, that he'd been impressed by the pace of the Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell finishing ahead of the Monegasque in P3 and P4, with Leclerc predicting that if they can continue the current trend, they'll be in the hunt for victories soon.